Hello everybody! Happy Art Day! Welcome to Freakin' Art. I'm Anastasia and I'm so excited you decided to join me to make some art today. Well, today we're going to do a really cool project with some cardboard, which I'm sure you have lying around the house. We're going to be making a relief sculpture. That's right. We're going to be making a Relief Our City sculpture. Now, relief sculpture is a really cool, unique form of sculpture. It's kind of in between two-dimensional art, like paintings and drawings, and fully three-dimensional art, like sculptures and installations. Because a relief sculpture, one of its unique characteristics is that it's attached to the same material at the back. So kind of like if there was a big stone and then you had a little bit of stone popping up. So you'll see relief sculptures on really fancy buildings like courthouses and museums, but they're characterized by being built out of a material that's either attached to a wall or hanging on the wall, and the same material that's used as the background is what builds up the relief sculpture. So they can come out pretty far, but they're generally not too deep. So that's a little cool new art term that we've learned today, relief sculpture. And now I'm sure you'll see it all around when you walk around and look at buildings. But for today's class, we're not going to need too much. You're going to need some cardboard, as much as you want. I'm using the corrugated kind. That's the kind that has a little bumpy part inside. Because if you rip off the top layer, then you get a really cool texture, which I liked. So yeah, it's a piece of cardboard, some glue, whatever glue you got, some scissors, a pen or pencil, and maybe a ruler or a straight edge so you can have some straight lines for your city. But maybe you got a wibbly wobbly city and you're not too worried about it. Okay, so before we dive in and make this totally cool Relief Our City sculpture, let's do a little bit of a breathing and a little bit of a stretch so we can be really focused and ready to make our sculpture project. Okay, everybody, breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And let's roll our shoulders back. And can you roll them forward? And let's interlace our fingers and stretch out those fingers and hands. Whoa. Well, I feel focused and ready to make some art. I hope you do too. I'm going to move this back over here so you can still see it, but so it's not in my way. So the first thing you need to do is get your piece of cardboard and decide how big of a background you want. Like how big of a space you want your relief sculpture to take up. It can be as big or as small as you want, and it can grow out from it too. You just need a good base. I'll probably just use this. What did I do here? I had a nice square on the back of this one here that I built off of. Maybe I'll try to do another square. We'll go ahead and try another square. So this is where your ruler might come in handy. But if you're not worried about it being perfect, then just eyeball it and wing it. It's fine. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Whatever process works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and measure mine though. Now I will say cutting out the cardboard with scissors can be frustrating sometimes and it's hard to get a really straight, clean line. If you have an adult around who's helping you, maybe they have a box cutter or X-Acto knife. That's really the easiest thing to use. Yes. Otherwise, you just gotta have a lot of patience. And also, as you go, you can cut up if you're cutting out your base, because our city sculpture is just made up of a bunch of squares and rectangles. So that might help cut out the piece of cardboard, or you could also just rip it. Oh my goodness. Well, now I got this square. This is the cardboard I have left over. So I think I actually might make a little bit of a smaller square. Sorry to waste your time and cut 2 squares out. But that way I'll have a little bit more material to build up my cityscape with. Well, let's make this a little smaller. Just bear with me. I'm so sorry. And also, your background piece that you're building off of doesn't have to be a square. It could be a rectangle, it could be a circle, it could be whatever shape you want it to be. And it doesn't have to have perfectly straight edges either. Rawr, rawr. What do you think about this scissor cutting technique here? I'm pressing it against my body and using all my finger force. Ah. Okay. Woo. I might be a little bit sweaty. I'm worrying my puppy, Rico. He's in the studio today and he's walking back and forth behind me like something's wrong. Okay. I'm going to use this much smaller base to go off of, but like I said, you can go as big or as small as you want. I just didn't have that much cardboard left in my studio to do a super huge relief my city sculpture, even though that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm using this as a base so I can grow off of it. And then I would just say cut, like this looks really nice. Do you know what I like about the cardboard I found is that one side looks warm and the other side looks cool. So it looks like it's 2 different colors, which is great. That's something else I forgot to say about a relief sculpture. Most of the time they're all the same color because they're made out of stone, like marble or bronze. And so they're usually one color or monochromatic. Monochromatic is a cool art term that means one color. I kind of played with that and got several different tones of the same color just by using the different sides of my cardboard or the inside of it. But if you want a colorful relief cityscape, then please, by all means, paint it at the end. That would look great. It's your artwork and it should look like your artwork, right? We all know that by now. Okay, so this part, I don't even know if I'll be making this exact same one again. I'm just going to cut out a couple different rectangles and squares and start layering them on. So I'm just going to start doing that. I will show you a trick. So the cardboard, if you want to get the inside of the cardboard, you should just be able to peel off the top. I was having a little bit of difficulty getting it to come off in one piece, so I had like a skewer or a toothpick or something I could stick like right in that little, I just broke that toothpick in there. That was really helpful. Still works. Just something that you could stick in that groove under the top layer and pull it off. It wasn't every single piece that was giving me a hard time, but if you want a really nice, clean, textured piece, then that's a cool trick to do that. Also, when it's not all the way clean, when it's just kind of mostly clean, there's still some shrapnel from the top layer. I think that looks nice too. It adds some real cool texture to your piece. I keep on breaking these. I obviously used a skewer last time. Let's see where my skewer is. Okay. There you are. This is Rico. Just obvious. Oh, she's my studio assistant. He's very handsome. He's not very helpful, but I don't tell him that because I love him so, and he's so handsome. Aren't you so handsome? Yes, you are, little boy. Okay, this is what I was using as my cardboard removal tool last time. It works so much better. It's not breaking. Don't use the toothpicks. They seem to break a lot easier. But see, this way I can stick it in there and peel off that whole piece. It's a nice little tool to have, which you might have in your house. Especially if the adults like to grill, make some kebabs. Get those skewers for the kebabs on the grill. So I got 2 different pieces. Well, I got 3 different pieces, including my background. And they all have a slightly different color because they're a different part of the cardboard. Isn't that cool? So I'm just gonna cut out a couple more shapes. You could have it hanging off all edges. You could have squares. You could have rectangles. You could have triangles. I mean, you don't even have to make a cityscape. You could just be like, I am going to make a magnificent forest and show you Anastasia. And I will be so excited to see what you create. Because you know, your imagination is the only limitation. So don't let my example be the end point. Let it be the starting point, right? Now, I like this. It has a little seam on it, so I think I'll include that in my building. And another cool thing about the corrugated cardboard, the cardboard that's like that double layer, is that it kind of has these little lines. If you look real carefully, it has little lines on there from the bumps of the cardboard. So you can use it like you drew a line, but it just already exists there. Got 2 buildings, maybe 3 buildings. I'm gonna cut some little squares out, and then I think I want one tall, skinny one, maybe. Out shapes to your heart's content. Ha, that worked real well. Yeah. And you could even cut out more shapes than you need, because we could arrange our compositions. Remember, compositions is how you arrange the different objects on a page, or in this case, on our background board. So if you cut out a couple shapes first, then you can take them and arrange them in a way that you really like. And like I said, you can use a ruler if you're concerned about your buildings having straight edges. But if it doesn't bother you, then you don't need it. Ha. Okay, I just figured out a better way to do this on camera. It's amazing. It's amazing. We learn something new every day. At least that's the goal. I found when I stick it against, so instead of in that little loop, if I can get it going the other way, it pulls off all the way. Ha. And another suggestion, this is built up on a couple layers, and so when you're gluing down your pieces, you might want to have a couple extra little pieces to like shove in the spaces to help it dry. I'm getting cardboard shrapnel all over me. I feel like I have a good starting point. I have a little bit of extra material if I want to add some more buildings. I'm gonna build it right here. I think you can see what I'm doing pretty well. Hopefully you can. So you just start with your base. I'm using regular Elmer's glue. I think a glue stick would probably work. You might need a little bit more patience or some tape to reinforce it. If you don't have glue, tape works too. But this is what we're gonna do. First, I'm gonna think about my composition. So how I wanna arrange my rectangles and squares on my base here. Now you could arrange it all first and then take it off and glue it. You can arrange as you go, or you could just start going and glue each piece on as you like, as you feel it. Just feel like it really belongs somewhere. So I'm gonna start with this big piece. Start with this skinny tall building. I'm gonna go ahead and put glue down directly on my base piece. And we don't need too much glue. I'm pressing it down, pressing it down. In general, we're gonna need patience anyway for this, and maybe some tape to reinforce, but I'm just gonna build it up. This is my first piece. La la. Got 2 pieces on. This one's having a hard time sticking because my background cardboard's a little bit bent. I like this one, it has that little seam. I'm gonna go ahead and put glue all on the back of this because this whole piece is gonna be on the cardboard. That I know. That I have decided, my friends. Okay, put it in my next piece. You know, it might be good to put all the glue down and then put like a heavy book on it and walk away and eat a snack. And then remember, hey, this morning I did a really cool art project. It's probably right by now. And then go check it out. That's a good course of action. I would suggest that. Got these fun, funky pieces that show the corrugated cardboard. Let's put some of those in. This will be good to show you. So, I've got it kind of built up now, so I'm putting in a piece of my cardboard that shows the corrugated part. And you can see there's a bit of a gap right there. This is what I got so far. So my city, my Relief Our City sculpture. I think it's looking really nice, but maybe I want to put another piece of cardboard in here so it has extra support. I'll just take a little piece of cardboard and put a little bit of glue on both sides, and then I hope you saw that. Let's see it. I can poke it out again. Whoa. Okay. So I got the glue on both sides, and I'm taking that piece of cardboard, and see this space right here? This little space, hopefully you can see it. I'm sliding it under there, and then I'm gonna press down on that so that my third layer here, my building in front, has a bit more support. Now, if you've watched my classes before, you know I talk a lot about how we create space in our artwork. Now with our Relief Our City sculpture, we're creating space in 2 ways. So we're creating actual space by building up the 3 dimensions like building out with our cardboard, and then we're creating an illusion, a magical trick of space with overlapping our shapes. So the shapes that are overlapped, that come over the shapes behind them, it makes it look like the shape here is in front. This one needs a little bit of something, it looks boring. I'm gonna give it a window, a cool textured window bank or something on the top. That looks much better with the window bank. Kinda want something over here. I'm gonna cut this one in half. Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm obviously going with the compose my piece as I go option. Sometimes it's just fun to go with the flow. Voila! I think that looks pretty nice. We got the different textures going on. We got a couple different size rectangles. And we got slightly different colors from using the different sides of the cardboard. And we put together a really nice cityscape. I think so. I think it looks great. Here are my two relief, our cityscapes. Our city relief sculptures. Now, it dries pretty quickly. This is already together. But you still might want to set it aside while it dries fully. And then if you want to hang it up on the wall, you could do like a thumbtack on either. Okay, for some reason, my camera turned off. I don't remember what I was saying. You could wait for it to dry, and then you could paint it. If you want to hang it, that's what I was talking about. You could put the thumbtacks on either end so it's supported, or it would probably hang up with some really strong tape or those Velcro strips, like the No Mark 3M Velcro strips, in case you want to display your awesome Relief Our City relief sculpture. I would love to see what you guys made if you went ahead and decided to make a cityscape, or if you went with something completely different. So please tag me on Instagram at Freaking Art, or send me an email or some snail mail, because I love to see where your imagination takes you. If you like today's class, please like and subscribe, because it really helps me continue to make these fun, free classes for you on the internet. And, what else? What else? Well, I guess nothing else. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys created. And I will see you guys soon, okay? Bye! You want to say goodbye, Rico? Want to come up here and say goodbye? That's it. We're going to get Rico to say goodbye. Come here. Bye! That's a good puppy.